June 10th.
Hey, my name is Dana. I just did a makeup look inspired by the professor. It's time for Watcher Weekly.
Welcome to Watcher Weekly, presented by Breather, a show where we kick back, chat, and answer your guys' questions to the best of our ability. Keep that take in, use that one, it was a perfect take.
Ryan, you told us before we started rolling that you have enjoyed some neurogum before this, so you're caffeinated for the first time in quarantine.
Whoa, is that a sponsor?
Right?
Bro, is that a sponsor?
So, I mean, technically, yes.
Technically, they did invest in this company. If you've watched Making Watcher, you would know they were an investor, Steven.
Yeah, this was not a plug. I mean, it is a plug because the gum is very tasty, and they're very nice guys.
They also sell mints.
That's true.
Yeah, I haven't had caffeine since we started the quarantine because I can't drink coffee anymore because it hurts my little belly. I thought no more caffeine, and then I remembered, I have a big supply, a big cache, if you will, of Neuro. And now I've had about 2 cups of coffee equivalent, and I feel insane.
I'm gonna make you a cup of matcha next time I see you. It's a good level of caffeine. It's right between like your typical teas and also coffee, so I'll get you next time.
Matcha.
We're all enjoying our beverages. I really like it.
I also have food this morning. I have a bagel.
Looks like poop.
What's going on with that bagel, dude?
It's literally from New York City. I ordered a bag of bagels from New York City because, first of all, gotta support your local businesses.
And then you burnt them?
No, this is not burned. This is the color of the bagel.
Is it like a pumpernickel? Oh, it is, okay. What bagel company is it from, Steven?
Utopia Bagels. Shout out to Utopia Bagels. You can buy them online at goldbelly.com. Not sponsored by them either. I just like their bagels.
Steven, have you ever been to Russ and Daughters in New York?
Oh, sorry. You're giving me a... Holy crap. I have not heard that in a while. My loins jumped.
Yeah, agreed. It's really good.
It's good, but I don't know about that.
You know what's great about that place? I've never had it there, but they do sell caviar there.
You're just blindly advertising, shelling out for a New York establishment. This is typical Big Apple behavior.
New Year's Eve, like a couple years ago, where I was at a party and they had some caviar, and I was like, you know what? This is gonna be the year of caviar. And Sarah was like, it's pretty expensive. And I was like, how expensive could it be? It turns out it's very expensive, so it was not the year of caviar.
Hot tip, okay, if you actually do want to enjoy caviar, my God, I can't believe I turned into this person.
You snob.
Save up your money, wait for the pandemic to end, go to Momofuku Noodle Bar. There is a fried chicken and caviar that you can split with 6 people. It's about $500.
That sounds messed up.
Every penny, and it's good because it's messed up.
But have you ever actually paid for that, or do you just go on your fancy little shoots with the Food Boys TM, just shovel caviar into your mouth?
If you watch the episode, we actually do shove caviar into our mouth. Anyway, this is not a good indictment of me. What are we doing today, Shane?
Oh, you know what? Later in the episode, we're obviously gonna answer some questions. And as always, if you would like to submit your questions, you can swing by. You can follow us on socials, but submit your questions in the community tab on YouTube. That's where it's happening now. The C tab, as we call it. But if you'd like to get at us on socials, we are Watcher, youtube.com/Watcher, facebook.com/Watcher Entertainment, patreon.com/Watcher. But we're gonna be answering some questions, and later in the episode, we're going to be watching, actually, this is a video from when we were in London a few months ago, when the world was still online, in a sense. We made a return to the Viaduct Tavern, just sort of on a whim. We'll see if Steven Lim can handle a supernatural lockdown. Is that the name of an actual show, Ryan? What do they call it? Ryan?
What?
What is
Are
Ryan
you well?
looking at?
Yeah.
What are you looking over at?
Nothing. What was the question?
Nothing. Hey,
What was the question?
get with the program.
Anyway, let's hit some questions here. As always, we'll be answering more questions in general over on patreon.com/Watcher and Watcher Weekly Plus. Steven, do you have something to add?
Before then, take out your drinks, your ice cold drinks, and let's enter the chill zone.
Weren't we in the chill zone for the past
We were in the
5-10
chill zone.
minutes?
What?
Now put away your ice cold drinks.
Put away and take out your hot drinks, because now it's time to jump into the hot seat.
Oh, by the way, are you a floor gang, bro? Do you see the comments about floor gang? We got 3,000 comments.
I should address this. I didn't realize there would be such a strong reaction to the floor episode, so I'm going to do it. I just want to make my floor sort of an ideal living space first. And I really want to hype up the floor episode, so I want to do it right. you're sitting on the floor. You're not really making a meal out of it, is my concern. I really want you to lounge.
Oh.
So floor episode is coming. We hear you. The floor episode is coming. If you haven't yet, we have our podcast channel. Swing over to youtube.com/watcherpodcasts. Check it out. It's great. It's really good. Subscribe over there.
And also, this week, we have Grocery Run premiering. We interview my good friend, Roy Fabito. He is a YouTuber. You may have heard him as Guava Juice. Really amazing stuff. He has, I think, 15 million subscribers in the last 3 years.
He is a very entertaining interview. He's a delightful man.
Also, the finale of our pilot season.
What's gonna come after that?
Ryan.
What was the question? Sorry.
No, Ryan,
Wait,
just put it down.
what's going on?
Wait, what's going on? Wait, you want to see my face, right?
Yeah.
What's coming out next week?
I don't know why do we need to answer that? We don't need to answer that.
What do you mean we don't need to answer that? Okay, I guess we'll move into questions now. Steven, do you got any heaters to start? Oh, you're just gonna eat
Oh
it.
yeah,
Okay.
I got a good question. First question from Michael Rogers says, if you guys all had to go on a road trip together, where would you go? Question 2 of that, part 2, is, and who would murder who first? I don't know if I resent this question or love it because you're assuming that we would murder each other on a road trip.
Yeah, I don't know that we would. Here's the thing. We all built a company together. If we haven't murdered each other yet, then it's probably not gonna happen.
Yeah, and life is a highway, so
That's
we've already
true.
been on a road trip this whole time.
Steven, I love to hear it. Big ka-chow on that one, my brother.
Oh yeah, it's the Cars from Cars.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of where we would go on a road trip.
Anywhere.
I'll say this. Anywhere, true. But I've driven from Chicago to LA, I think 3 times. I loved it. And I've always wanted to do the full country, all the way across, like from LA to Maine or something. That'd be fun, right?
You've driven from Chicago to LA 3 times? That's a long effing drive.
It's incredible.
I know where we would go. We would take Ryan to the Midwest. Duh. Let him appreciate the cicadas, the cornfields, the cow tipping.
I remember
the tractors.
when we went to the Sally house. Where is that? Where was that in Kansas?
Oh, that was Atchison, Kansas.
We were driving through rural Kansas, and Ryan was like, "Oh, this is fucking crazy."
Yeah, it was a lot of open farmland. I've never seen something like that before, being a California dude.
And it was also like very gray and desolate. I think that was also part of it.
Well, a lot of the
You were
barns
just kind
look like they were sets from the next Annabelle Coming Home film. So
Yeah, there's a lot of
it was
old,
not fun.
dilapidated barns out there.
Ooh, here's a good one. It's from Remeby, and it says Bergugu. That's a new one.
Yeah, I don't even really. I sort of said this offhand, but I called Ryan Bergugu in the last episode. I don't know where that came from. We were trying to deduce, and I think it may be a spin-off of our good friend TJ Marchbank, who has been on many Unsolved shoots, many Watcher shoots, has a habit of calling Ryan the Bergoose.
He does call me that.
Which is a
Funny
great TJ nickname. So this
I love
maybe
that
was
guy.
just a spin on that.
I'm gonna miss him.
You go. What?
What?
What else we got here? Ryan, this is from Freya Barnard. Ryan, what was the best part of interviewing Mari? Shane and Steven, would you let Ryan interview your partners?
Yeah, that was a fun experience. Obviously, I knew her quite well. At that point, we had been together for some time. It was fun to talk to all of her friends and family to get some, intel that I may not have even known. To see what she was like in her formative youth. I recommend it. It was a fun experience. It's kind of like when you play like 21 questions with your partner. If any of you have done that, which is a fun thing to do.
What is 21 questions? Is that like where you try to guess the name of a celebrity or something?
No, it's
That's 20
you ask
questions.
Each other 20 questions.
20 questions is the name of the game, Ryan. 20 questions.
Is it 20 questions? I thought it was 21 questions. Oh, you know what? I'm thinking of the 50 Cent song. You know the 50 Cent song? Not this audience, huh?
No.
And then as for you interviewing Sarah, you're welcome to. She wouldn't enjoy a haunted house. She doesn't give a shit about, people in costumes jumping out.
It is
of
21 questions, you goons.
Let's see here.
I'm
Back
gonna
to
plug in my
event-
laptop. I'm running out of battery. Sorry, my laptop's out of battery.
I'll start this story while Ryan's running around.
Okay.
Evangeline Utley says, what is the weirdest thing you've ever seen a stranger do in public? This is a great story. Ryan and I, with several other people, went to see Ready Player One, which was not, we didn't expect it to be good.
I love that film, by the way, just letting you know.
Do you? Well, I guess there's something for everybody in it. But we chose to.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, what's going on? Can you get your
I'm
laptop?
back.
plugged
It was just it was a charger thing. That was it.
I don't do this with a lot of movies, but before this film, I imbibed in some enhancements, herbal, all natural.
Okay. Like Botox.
And I know, yeah, you know me.
Yeah.
This is generally not the way I recommend seeing films. I'm not one for that, but sort of knowing this one would be a wash, I was like, whatever, rock and roll. So I was in a bit of a state before we saw the film. As we were walking, it was very crowded. We were walking to the theater and I saw an Austin Powers who looked exactly like Austin Powers. He was walking through the crowd in full Austin Powers getup. He was pointing at people. People were cheering and saying like, oh my God, it's Austin Powers. And he was going like, yeah, baby, yeah. And he had like go-go dancers next to him. I was like, this is incredible. He passed and kept walking. And I turned to everyone else in the group and I was like, that was nuts. And everyone looked at me like, what was? And I said, that Austin Powers just walked past. And everyone was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I was like, what? Everyone thought I was insane. So I said, wait right here, and I ran as fast as I could through this mall.
I've never seen Shane sprint like that.
To take a photo of him.
You didn't say wait right here.
I just I just bolted.
You went like this, and you were like, you didn't, and you just turned and you just ran. And we were like, I guess we'll wait here. Where is he going? We didn't know what he was doing. We heard, like a commotion, and we just see this giant lumbering man with his hair flopping up and down, running fast, full speed.
I had tracked him down. I saw him crossing the street. It turns out there was an Austin Powers themed bar opening up in the neighborhood. He was crossing a street. I said, I need to take a photo with you. And he said, why don't we finish crossing the street so I don't get hit by a car? And I was like, sounds good. And then I came back and I showed it to everyone. And you guys, your brains seemed to break a little bit when I showed you. I don't think anyone believed me.
We got time for one more question. And this one comes from Patreon. And as always, we will answer more questions in our other show, Watch Weekly Plus, exclusive to Patreon. So this one's from Emily Claire. What March sister from Little Women are you guys? By the way, disclosure, I haven't seen the movie, so I'm gonna tap out for this question.
This is not a shocker.
You guys love the movie.
We're big Little Women heads.
We were big Little Women heads. No, I think that's perfect. I think, well, one, Steven's easily or just very clearly Beth.
I don't know. I'm trying to think
Beth
of who's
is the
who.
one who is, Beth has an illness. Emma Watson is Meg. Amy is Florence Pugh.
Floor? Okay.
And then Saoirse Ronan is Jo. I identified the most with Jo because she is very up and down, I would say, and very headstrong. Who would Shane? Shane's.
I don't really know.
Your disposition is similar to Meg.
Emma Watson?
Yeah, she's very diplomatic, even keel.
She's boring as hell in that movie.
I don't know if you could really fit into any of those.
Yeah, maybe you can't put me in a box, you know?
Maybe you're that Chalamet boy.
No, I think maybe I would be Chris Cooper.
Yeah, you're Chris Cooper? Oh yeah, you're Chris. No, you're what's his face? You're Bob Odenkirk when he walks in.
Do you remember what his first line is when he shows up?
Children! Isn't it something like that?
No, he says, I've missed you, my little women. Let's move on to our exciting segment this week because we've got a real barn burner here, I think.
Oh, the segment! That's what you were talking about earlier. Yeah, okay, yeah. The Steven investigating.
Well, investigate's probably a strong word for what I did.
No, he stood in a room, which is actually
Yes.
pretty on par with my investigation.
Except he did not. Steven said he would go into the jail cell. He did not say anything because he says he doesn't like to meddle with that stuff.
Yeah, so let me give some context on, first of all, what happened.
Yeah.
So we were at VidCon this past February, I believe, and then one of you guys had the brilliant idea of going to the Viaduct Tavern, which I have never been to. I actually haven't even seen the episode, but you guys investigated, is it a jail cell?
I mean, we investigated the whole building, but when we were there, it was closed, so we didn't really We had long wanted to go back and kind of enjoy it when it was populated and we could get a fun feel for the place.
So we thought it would be appropriate while we're in the foggy town to go there and have ourselves a nice little glass of
Foggy
gin.
town. Yes. I will say, I don't know if it's respect to you guys, but it's something. I don't think it's respect. It's more like
Would you say it's big ups?
big ups.
We'll let him finish his sentence, Shane.
You know what? Not even that. I would say it's the real deal. I'll say that. Okay?
Yeah.
Because when you're in that setting, when I was there, I was like, oh my God, I do not want to mess with any of the spirits that are here if they are here. It like goes against my own Christian beliefs to try to temper with the devil. When I got there, I was like, oh wow, I don't want to do this. But the fact that you guys actually go in there and do that takes courage? Not courage, it's just like stupidity.
It's fun. It's a fun thing to do. We got there, we had a few drinks. We actually did not plan to do an investigation, but we ran into Ian.
I think his voice is actually in the episode. I don't believe he's ever on camera. Maybe he is.
Okay.
It's been a while since I've watched that episode.
Yeah, he was the staff member who was there when we investigated, and they had kind of asked to, stay after hours to shepherd us throughout the building. Nicest guy in the world. When we saw him, he was like, it was really fun to see him again, and he made us some drinks, and then he told us that a lot of people had showed up and, because of the episode and have asked to see the cellar and the prison cell. And he was like, do you guys want to go down there? And we were like, yeah, sure.
Right, so you guys put me in the basement and had me kind of do a quote unquote investigation by myself for a few minutes. And that's what this footage is.
Roll it!
So Shane and I have returned to the Viaduct Tavern. You may recognize it from an Unsolved episode back in the day. But this time we have one Steven Lim with us, and they have agreed to let us go back down to the prison cell. This will be the first time Steven does anything remotely haunted, and it felt wrong to not have it on camera. And he seems pretty confident, frankly.
Listen, I actually do believe in spirits, but I'm not scared of them.
What if we left him by himself?
I love the spirit.
I remember this.
That's where you gotta go.
So I'm going in first by myself.
Is a Ouija board in there?
I don't mess with Ouija boards. Why is there a noose here?
Oh!
Okay. All right.
That.
Oh, by the way, we haven't introduced him because this is probably going to appear in our weekly show. This is Ian. He was with us on the original Viaduct Tavern episode.
Is he not in the episode?
No, I don't think he is. So he was the one that was guiding us through. We actually did an interview with him, a little inebriated, I will say.
All right. Well, I'm not going to be calling upon spirits the way that Shane does. I will say that.
How's it going? My name is Ryan. This is Steven.
What are you doing?
And this is Shane.
Hi.
We're gonna leave Steven in here, and I will say he has told us a lot of, he's been talking upstairs. He does not believe there's anything here.
That's not what I said.
Nor does he believe that you're real.
Why would you lie straight up?
Now he's getting a little more cowardly, I would say. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give this candle to Steven, and he's just gonna sit in here with you guys. And if there's anything here, feel free to, tussle his hair, pinch his nipples, I don't know.
Lord Jesus,
Please show us a sign you're here.
you are with me, and I believe that you will protect me.
I think that's about as far as it goes.
Yeah, it's not my MO, I will say, to go about calling upon spirits, because I do believe that spirits exist.
Steven does a food eating show.
What's in this bag? Oh.
3 different prices.
Yes. He lives a lot more luxuriant life than we do.
This has been fun. I mean, for a few minutes, nothing has happened so far. I do believe in spirits, and I do believe that there's a spiritual world out there. And I don't think that messing with spirits is a healthy thing. There's a fan turn. What's up? Oh, it's Ryan calling from a different door. It is a little creepy with the noose hanging here, but overall, not too scary. Not sure why Ryan finds so much pleasure in this. I'm gonna listen for a second. Nothing.
How'd it go?
It was okay.
You're all
It's
right?
not haunted in there.
There's nothing. What were you doing there? Like, tiling on that wall?
I was just listening, trying to find something, and it's nothing.
All right, well, it's a first test run for Steven.
Waverly, here we come.
Pretty good footage. You know, not a lot happening there. As Steven had mentioned, he didn't really call out to anything, which I respect.
Could we have done a more robust investigation if we had planned on it? Yes.
We had a shot list, and it was all gin.
All right, I like that. Steven, you gave us some thoughts on scene, but now that you're here, what was your experience like in that?
Yeah, I think I wasn't scared, I'll say that, but I was cautious. And I'm cautious of the spiritual world, which I do believe exists.
I vaguely recall you saying, and this sort of lines up with the way I perceive a lot of this, is when I'm in these places, I find the darkness very soothing, or like the solace of it. And I find it kind of comforting when I'm in these places. Didn't you say you had sort of like more positive feelings than negative?
Well, first of all, I felt kind of bored, and I felt bad that it was so boring.
That is also what tracks
But
me, yes.
kind of what you're saying is like, oh, it's kind of nice to be in like these like solitude places where people don't want to go into, but they're fine. They're fine. They're not that spooky.
I mean, the Viaduct Tavern is like a beautiful old building. Even the cellar is like kind of dingy, but it's nice old bricks. You have a sense of history. I guess that compared to someplace like an old, dingy, freezing prison that has been abandoned for 50 years is maybe, that is a little less comforting. Granted.
Also not as comforting when Shane had spent the last 10 minutes threatening everything in the building and then locks you in the jail cell down there. A little bit different of an environment.
All right, I think that about does it for this week. As always, swing by our socials, subscribe, check out the podcast. I don't know, here's a bunch of things. Whatever. See you next week, everybody.
Bye.
Okay.
Bye.